Do you lose your license for a DUI arrest in Florida? And the answer is yes, and you could potentially lose it twice. Now you might say, how do you lose it twice for the same DUI? Well, first understand, when you are arrested for DUI, there is typically an administrative suspension. And that suspension comes about because, one, you either blew over the legal limit or you refused to give a breath test. So the only reason why you wouldn't be able to get your license suspended as a result of an arrest for DUI is if you blew under the legal limit and then gave either a breath sample, blood sample, or a urine sample, and they haven't calculated, what was in your system at that time. So you can lose your license administratively. Now, if you've lost your license administratively, there are a couple different things to do to get your license back. One is what's called an administrative review hearing, or a formal review hearing, which you are entitled to. And if you request it in a timely fashion, within 10 days, you could get a temporary driving permit until you have that hearing, and then you can have a hearing about whether or not the arrest was lawful or not, or whether, if you refuse, whether it was a lawful refusal. So if you prevail at that hearing, you could get your regular license back. If you have questions specifically about that, I actually have a brochure that you can download called What You Must Know About Your DUI Case Before You Do Anything. Now, that's available on our website. Now, let's talk about what happens if you actually get convicted of a DUI. So let's say you had your administrative suspension and you blew over the legal limit. That administrative suspension is 6 months. So let's say your case about your DUI takes about a year. You could get your license back. But then if you got convicted of a DUI, you could lose it again for another 6 months, even though it's tied to the same arrest for which your administrative case is suspended. And that's a crazy thought. But the truth of the matter is no legislator is going to go back and say, those DUI laws are too tough. We should take some of this archaic language out of it and some of these punishments out. No one's going to do that. So your best bet is to actually fight the DUI case. If you fight the DUI case and get a reckless driving, then typically your license isn't going to be suspended. Now, another thing that you can do is if you got convicted of a DUI and you've done DUI school and you've had no other DUI issues in the past, you could be eligible for a hardship, which is again something that we can assist with. So if you want to know more about DUI law and how it works in the state of Florida, like I said, we have a brochure that you can download that overviews the topics that you need to know, and it's called What You Must Know About Your DUI Case Before You Do Anything. We also have a book, My Loved One's Been Arrested, What's Next? And that gives you an overview of the criminal justice process. So if you have any questions, download our free guides or give us a call here at the office and set up an appointment.